Okay, so while you pray for your enemies, and I mean really pray for your enemies, make sure that when you do it, ask God to give you the desire to do so. That's all. Ask God to give you the desire, because all I did, I said, Lord, help me to want to pray for these people. Help me to pray for them. And so pray for God's will. Pray for him to help direct and shape and mold even your words concerning people, because your words are not enough. The way that you see them people is not good enough. If you really want to pray a dangerous prayer, ask God to give you empathy for your enemies. Ask him to give you compassion. Because one thing I noticed with the story of Jonah is that he lacked compassion for his enemy. And so it made it hard for him to intercede for them, to go to bat for them, to speak a word of the Lord to them, to do all these things, because he was not in a place of having empathy and compassion for his enemies. When I tell you I did that, and I didn't really mean to pray that prayer. It just came out. So I know it was the Holy Spirit, because if it was just me, I say God bless him. A good day and a good God bless you. But no, the Lord said no, not so. So he gave me a literal dream. When I tell you I woke up crying, because we just have no idea what people are struggling with and battling with and going through. When I say I woke up and was so on fire to pray for the people that hurt me, so on fire to pray for my enemies. And I mean going to bat. I saw them how God sees them. Those are his babies. Brief part of the dream that I did see that really messed me up, that really got me together. I literally saw the demon. There's a spiritual, there's a principality, like a literal principality, and it has a name and it has a language, and it told a monologue of how it was coming after this person for generations, and it went back 7 times. Crazy is a lot of parts I can't really share, but what I will say is principality, that demon, that thing that has been after that person and their family and their bloodline for literally centuries, warring with them based on a time allotted curse. So there was a curse that the family had come into agreement with, and it's based on a time that is supposed to basically go into effect. It hits people in this family at a certain point in their lives, at a certain place, at a certain position, and this person has not been winning. I literally saw them as a 3-year-old getting beat upside the head, and they were literally standing straight, and they were being held like a stick and being whacked onto the ground continuously. And I saw that spirit doing this and smiling. The spirit was literally mocking their abuse and gaslighting them and making everybody else believe that this is just mentorship. This is just the way I love. This is just the way we do things in this family. And I realized this is that person's history, So when I wept, when I woke up from said dream, I realized I'm not battling this person. I've really been taking this to heart. I've been fighting in a carnal way because I had no empathy and no real understanding of what I was going against. So when I was frustrated and when I was angry and when I felt like this is so evil, how can somebody do this to me? They were letting an entity, a demonic entity, control their body. So it wasn't just somebody. It was intentional, but it wasn't them. And so when I woke up, I had empathy for that person because I was able to really separate them from the entity that they have been operating out of. And so I want you to pray today for a new level of compassion and empathy in prayer so that you can see people the way that God sees them. There was something that happened. You know, we need to go out and just forgive and forget and pretend like people didn't do things that they did, because at the end of the day, the consequences, you'll never have me in your life in that capacity. The consequence is I removed access that you once had to me. And hey, you might not even have a problem with that, and that's okay. So when you see people that like to gaslight you and tell you what you experienced wasn't real, think about the kind of mind frame and the mindset you got to have to be able to do something like that. How many times were they gaslit out of their abuses and experiences and trauma? How many times were they told that what happened to them did not happen to them? Because you have to be in a different kind of place to be able to do that type of stuff. Really, a lot of these people are broken. And so what they tend to do is they use their raggedy, jagged edges and they cut on you. Especially when you're in proximity. When you're in close proximity, they can hurt you the most because they're not healed, they're not whole, and they're still, walking around like everything's cool because they've been accustomed. They've been trained. They've been groomed. They've been groomed to assume that, hey, your trauma, it didn't happen. Because look at you still wake up every day and go to work. Because look at you're still able to function and go brush your teeth. So you're not depressed. And it's so far from the truth. But that's the problem, is that what I saw in the spirit was that, like, this person was a 3-year-old. They were 3 years old. And God even showed this person to me in a way that, like, made them to resemble my own son. God wanted me to see the way that he sees them. Because he loves them. He wants to protect them. And this is what's happening to them. And they don't see it. And one day I feel like God is going to release me to be able to share full dreams, especially pertaining to, like, people that I believe God is working in. I don't see it right now, but I do believe that God is working in some people. So when you go out here today and you just begin to petition to God, and ask him for things, let's not neglect the people that we don't like. And let's ask God to renew in us the right spirit, clean us up inside. And that way we can come from a place of being a open vessel for the Holy Spirit and not just an open vessel to be used by just any old entity. I want us to be real about the fact that, like, the way people handled you was not right. And you can be hurt and you can still have trauma and you can still use it all for the glory of God. Had I not gone through some of the experiences and the trauma that I've been through, I wouldn't have even been able to empathize with even the vision that God gave me. I feel like God would have had to make it a lot more extreme. But because I'm more sensitive, even seeing the little that I did see was enough for me to, like, literally weep and wail on this person's behalf. And I think that's beautiful, when you can actually come into agreement with the heart of God concerning people. That don't gotta be my son and daughter for me to empathize as if it is. Go out here, live an amazing life. I love you. Don't be out here looking like what you've been through. And have a good day.